Hello! I just wanted to stop by real quick and share with you my 5 top tips to learning a new language. As most of you know, I'm currently studying Mandarin Chinese. Less of you may know that English is not my first language. Norwegian is my first language. So I definitely picked up some tips and tricks along the way of how to learn a new language. So I'm going to share them with you today. I hope you like it. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, I do have a cold, so sorry about that. The first and most important step when you want to learn anything new, including a new language, is you have to commit. That's my first tip. You have to decide that no matter how boring, how difficult, how slowly you're able to move with this new language that you want to learn, you will not quit. You have to promise yourself that this is not going to be just another one of those things that you start and don't finish.
No, not this time.
You are going to see this through. You are going to become fluent in this language. We all have things going on in our lives, and most likely learning a new language is not your top priority. You have to tend to a million other things. Just make sure that no matter how busy you get, no matter how frustrated you get with life, you have to keep focusing on this new language, even if it's just one new word a week. Keep at it, keep at it. This might seem very obvious, but I'm sharing it anyway because you need to find a way now that you're at your most motivated to remember or write down something that's motivating you to keep going in your hardest, most boring times. Why are you learning this new language? Keep it in mind. Maybe make a vision board. Write down why, or mentally remind yourself of what you're going to refer back to when you're unmotivated. Create a picture of where you want to be, see yourself fluent, make a vision board, make a few key points of why you want to learn this language. Is it for jobs? Is it for travel? Is it for love? Is it for the future of your kids, your own future? Keep it in mind, you cannot stop. My second tip is make sure you're clear about what learning method is your preferred learning method. I'll take myself as an example. I know that I learn best and I think it's most fun to learn when I listen or when I'm in a real life situation with visuals or conversation. For someone else, their preferred learning method might be to look at a textbook, take notes. Someone else might learn best by making their own flashcards or doing something completely different. You have to know what method works best for you and return to that method most of the time. Especially if you feel frustrated, return to the method that's easiest for you to learn by. This brings me perfectly into my third tip, which is make sure that you use multiple different inputs for this language learning journey that you're on. Yes, you are aware of your preferred learning method, but that doesn't mean that you can't switch it up. You should switch it up. For example, what I do, I use flashcards, and a tip regarding flashcards is that these are tangible. These are out in the real world. They're in my home. I see them, so it's easier for me to pick them up if I have a few extra minutes here and there. So much of our world is online. That's great. You got to learn stuff online too. Yes. But have tangible things in real life. And I promise you, you'll have more consistency in your learning because it'll be easy for you to just pick up a card, review, pick up another card. Having flashcards like this makes learning more fun. For example, I brought these to Norway during the holidays that just passed, and I had quality time with my mom because she helped me go through this. So it was kind of like a 2-in-1 where we spent nice time together, we had fun, and I was learning. Some other approaches I use, I try to listen to podcasts, even though I don't understand every single thing they're saying. I'm getting subconsciously the rhythm of the language. For example, when you make yourself breakfast in the morning, Put on a podcast when you get on the train or your public transportation in the morning to go to work. Put on a podcast. Put on music. I listen to music. You know, I do Chinese cover songs here all the time. Language learning will not be boring for you if you find multiple different avenues that you can revisit when you get tired of one. So in addition to flashcards, listening to podcasts and music, I of course also watch TV series and movies. If you're currently learning Mandarin Chinese, I really recommend the TV series The Legend of Chen Huan. It's really famous, of course, so you probably heard about it, but maybe you didn't. And for movies, my favorite last movie that I saw is Farewell My Concubine. There's so many. You have to find your favorite ones. You just have to immerse yourself in this language. Which brings me to my fourth point, which is you can study this language during no extra time moments.
Nice.
I kind of mentioned it a little bit already. When you're making breakfast in the morning, when you're cooking dinner, when you feel like, oh my God, I can't think, put on something entertaining in the language you want to learn and just let your subconscious at least pick up on it. When you're on the train, public transportation, in the car, put on a podcast, music. There's apps that have flashcards on them if you prefer to use an app on your phone. Get creative about where you could squeeze in some extra language learning. A footnote on that, kind of a step 4.5, is that I've discovered it's good to do weeks of less learning as well. Yes, you can go crazy, you can work hard, you can have input, learning. However, I noticed that things marinate and things store itself in your subconscious, and it's kind of working itself out even when you're not learning. So if you're taking a week or two with less input, I think you'll find sometimes that when you come back to your regular learning schedule with a lot of input, you'll see, oh man, I remember more words now because I gave myself time, I gave my brain time to process. I don't know the clinical reasons for that. It's just something I've noticed. Okay, I saved the most important tip for last. The fifth and most important tip to learning a new language is you have to put yourself in real life conversation situations. It's going to be very uncomfortable at first. It's going to be confusing. You're going to feel like, oh my God, I don't know this language at all. I've been learning it for weeks, or I've been learning it for a few months, and now I'm here in a real world conversation and I can't say anything, let alone listen and hear what other people are saying to you. The sooner you can put yourself in a conversation environment, the better it's going to be. It's a different way of learning from looking at the book or being comfortable, listening to your podcast by yourself, watching your little movie by yourself. That's comfortable. You have to go out of your comfort zone and have conversations. The way I've been doing it is I have a teacher that teaches me grammar, but also once or twice a week we talk. We just talk. I listen to her. She speaks slowly, and I try to convey my thoughts to her in Mandarin Chinese. This immediately reveals any holes, any grammar holes that you forgot or you didn't learn yet, and it teaches you to think on the spot. This is why you're learning your language. You want to be able to use it to express yourself and to listen to other people. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. You can't shy away from it. Just do it. The sooner you can do it, the faster you're going to get better, and then you're going to start enjoying it, and that's the goal. And those were my tips. I hope they were helpful. If you have any other tips you want to share with me or your language learning friends, please put them below. I would love to see. Like and subscribe if you didn't already. I think I'll make some more videos from my Mandarin Chinese journey. For example, I'm thinking of making a video about my favorite movies and TV shows, Mandarin Chinese movies and TV shows. And yeah, just don't give up. Once you have gotten over some of the first hurdles with your language learning, you build momentum, and it'll get more and more fun. It'll get easier. And for me personally, learning new languages has completely changed my life. I mean, I'm here now in New York. I use English. I speak English more than I speak my mother tongue. And learning Chinese now has obviously opened my heart, my brain, my world even more. I'm super excited to hear what kind of language you're learning. If you want to share that with me, your thoughts about learning a new language. Don't give up, don't give up. Learning a new language is a journey, it's a process. To close, I just want to say learning a new language is really a gift to yourself and to others in so many ways. To yourself, it'll enrich your life, obviously. It's good for your brain. And the world can always benefit from communication. It's the most important thing. So with that said, I'm going to close the video. Best of luck on your language learning journey. You can do it. Commit. Don't give up. I know you can do it. Bye!